Much for joining us. We learned a lot over the past several weeks of where you're at through your process of network segmentation with the ultimate goal of protecting your customers' valuable information and in return providing some safety net with all the cybersecurity threats that are going on. And ultimately, what we're trying to do is save you from this. Gartner report showed that $500,000 on average an enterprise would spend in direct and indirect expenses from one security breach. This is in terms of stockholder value. This is in terms of things such as brand, and this is also things from direct spend for remediation. So there's a lot invested in making sure that Esurance and us get this right. And over the past 12 months, we've gone through and we've helped and partnered with you in the network segmentation process. There's been, over the last 20 years, Esurance has developed and has built a platform based on web access to the customers. And as you expand your portfolio into not just auto coverage, but also renters coverage, motorcycle, personal items, your development team has expanded, and you have this environment where there's a lot of handoffs, a lot of interconnections. And so the means in which to protect your customers' data is through network segmentation. Let me do a rough sketch of what that environment looks like today. So what we've done is we've developed an enterprise segmentation, your test dev, and your e-commerce. And when inside your e-commerce, there resides many different types of servers, applications, but in particular, the most important right here is databases. And that right there is the crown jewels, or what we are trying to protect. We are trying to segment your enterprise from being able to access that database, your dev test being able to access that. And over the course of this segmentation, we've experienced, and you've experienced, some challenges with well, how do we now enforce this? How do we gain some visibility into whether or not this segmentation is actually working? And there's a lot of challenges from a political standpoint, because these app developers within your e-commerce site don't want you to touch their most important thing, which is the app in which they're using. And they don't want you to make any changes. And if they do, they want it to be remediated immediately. And this is putting an immense amount of pressure on you to meet your timelines and to reach PCI compliance. I know we've had to extend some delivery dates because of that. A lot of it is an internal challenge, working with your app teams, making sure that they feel comfortable with the IT organization making these changes to their applications. And so this is where we believe Cisco can fit in, and where Cisco can help you achieve this and get to the result you're looking to quicker. And I'll go back to the key word of visibility. Visibility is what's most important. And what Cisco and our strategy is within security is a before, during, and after. And before being the visibility part, during is validating that it works, and after is a remediation or a forensic, where you can see that everything, if a breach happens, how do I retrospectively look at that path? And what the nice thing about your network is that there is some consistency. There is some inherent value of building on networking and routing and other Cisco products that leverage OpenFlow, or NetFlow, excuse me. And NetFlow is, tiny bits of ones and zeros that go across that speak to one another, and there's a small bit of information in there like a fingerprint. And every time there's a transaction between a switch, between a client, like a database server, you have footprints, you have forensics and visibility. And what our solution does, it takes a networking accounting or a networking ledger of all those transactions, all those handshakes. And what we do is we leverage metadata to be able to track that and to retrospectively look at that. So for example, if you're trying to understand today how your flows or how your handshakes are working, what we can do, and without getting too technical, is we can classify clients into communities. And with these communities, you can then set rules, or you can use rules that are already available, or you can craft your own. And so what that ledger is doing is it's connecting, it's taking all of that, so you'll be able to see. And what it's also doing is it's baselining. It's taking all the current traffic that's happening today. So what typically our customers do is take 2 weeks and allow for it to just baseline. And then once you baseline and understand how your traffic is moving today, you can then look for anomalies. And that anomaly is shown within a dashboard where you can see a spike in whether it's exfiltration of data or whether it's just some activity, such as one client taking data and moving it out. Specifically, what's here, the family jewels, the PCI compliant data or customer information. So to wrap it up, to make sure we're clear on understanding, is we want to prevent a mistake. We want to prevent this. And we also want some speed because we need to be PCI compliant. Today what we're proposing is StealthWatch, the solution, and other things that you should be aware of is we can look at how to bundle this into your current security portfolio, looking at enterprise agreements, funding finance through Cisco Capital, and also leveraging, just as we did during the network segmentation in discovery, we can leverage Cisco Advanced Services or our partner community. So thank you for your time and look forward to continuing our dialogue.